The American Academy of Pediatrics is raising a red flag high. Children 6 and under are simply getting too much screen time. I don't know that that declaration will surprise many parents. Here in Utah, though, the Office of Families is witnessing the real-world impact on our communities. Joining me is Aimee Winder Newton, Senior Advisor to Governor Cox and the Director of the Office of Families. She's here to share current screen time guidelines for young kids. Always great to see you.
Thank you.
I so deeply admire the work that you're doing and the message that you're sharing. And as I mentioned, I don't think parents will be surprised to know we're not meeting the mark. What is concerning you? What are you seeing that's causing concern?
You know, we've started hearing from childcare providers, preschool teachers, and others that they're getting these kids that the last few years that don't know how to self-regulate. They're behind on social and emotional skills. And that's concerning to us because as they go to enter kindergarten and move on to school, like if they're used to being handed an iPad to pacify them, then it becomes a problem for teachers. And so we really need parents to step up on this and help us. And I found a lot of them don't know, especially new parents, they don't know that there's screen time guidelines for kids under 6. So we're just trying to get the word out on that.
Great, and even if you do know, I think now is a very timely moment to review with summer upon us and kids home with hours, stretched hours of time. So let's review the guidelines.
Yeah, so for kids 0 to 18 months, the screen time recommendation is no screen time, only video chatting. So I have a 15-month-old granddaughter. I love to FaceTime with her, sing songs, do peekaboo and all of that, and that's simply okay. If they have somebody that they can video chat with that they know, that's a good thing. From 18 to 24 months, it's very limited screen time. So probably less than an hour a day, but with a parent. So it's interactive, it's educational, it's age appropriate. Those are really important.
And interesting research coming down. I'm sure your eye is on this as well as mine, but interesting research in that age group that the programming should be slow.
Yes.
That the pace of the scene should be slow. The communication, the songs, there's a pacing issue here too.
Yeah, because a lot of times people know that they can get kids hooked if they've got YouTube, you know, videos or whatever that are constantly changing every 15 seconds with different lights and sounds.
Right.
And it's training their brain that they need that stimulation and change often, and that doesn't help with long-term attention. So that's exactly right.
The 2 to 5 year window, I think, is probably the biggest shock in the sense that you think their brains are a little more developed, but the guidelines are still pretty clear.
Yeah. An hour a day.
An hour.
And you should still be viewing with a sibling or a parent, and so that you're getting that interaction. It's good when parents can show kids how what they're seeing on television relates to their real world. That's something that's really important. And then 6 years and older, the recommendation is no more than 2 hours a day of screen time. And again, being very choosy on what your kids are watching, how they're watching it, making sure they still get enough sleep at night, they're going outside and getting good physical activity, they're having social interactions with friends. Those are so much more important because we worry about a child's brain development. And if they're just on a screen all the time, that's problematic.
You probably, Aimee, hear from parents all the time who say, sounds good, not realistic in this world of screens. What do you say to that, Mom?
Yeah, you know, it's hard. We get it. Parents are trying so hard to do the best for their kids. I always tell parents, like, you're going to have a battle one way or another. Do you want the battle on the front end when you're telling them, no, we're not going to, you know, have this much screen time? Or do you want the battle on the back end when they've now become addicted to screens, they're struggling in school, they're having a hard time paying attention, they don't have in-person friendships? Like, where do you want your battle? And I just think the battle is so much easier on the front end when, you know, you're putting limits in place. But draw on your community. Encourage other parents to have the same rules. And if we can get some community culture change in how we use screens, that's really helpful. I'll tell you though, the most important thing is for parents to stay off their screens. That's impacting our kids the most, is when parents are scrolling, ignoring their kids. Kids are following their example and they see that. And so doing a better job as adults of limiting our own screen time is actually really, really impactful.
Yeah, we were having a good commercial break chat about there's a psychology piece here for parents, discipline, as you mentioned, personally in our usage, and also stamina, like saying no on the front end 5 times and holding to it. And I do hope, as I know you do, that this movement with the Jonathan Haidt research and the Anxious Generation book everyone's talking about, that we can put the genie back in the bottle a little bit because we need to.
Absolutely. Well, we recognize, you know, when you're doing family things, when you're having meal times, there is still such strong data on having meals together as a family.
Yes.
And how important that is for a child's well-being. We've got the data on it, and it's awesome. So the more you can have family dinners together with those devices put away, the better.
All right, where can we learn more?
So if you go to strongfamilies.utah.gov, you can learn more, and you can learn about Family Connection Week, which is happening right now. This is something our governor has said, put your devices away, spend more time with family, and a very intentional week to be able to do that.
An important message, so thank you for bringing it to us today.